Hi, everybody. Welcome into Tuned Into NoCo. Today, I have two amazing individuals on our show. We have the Black, Indigenous, and People of Color of Larimer County's Program Director, Jamie Rasmussen, with us. We also have their Engagement Community Coordinator, Mayra Orozco, with us. Both of you, it's so great having you guys on our show.
Thanks for having us. We're very excited to share more about what's been going on with our organization.
Yeah. So to start, let's talk about it. What does BIPOC do?
Yeah, so the BIPOC Alliance is a community-led organization here in Larimer County, and we provide opportunities to build community amongst people of color, and we do that through joy and liberation. So ways to create spaces for people of color to feel welcome and loved and like they belong, as well as a lot of advocacy work to advocate for people of color locally, ultimately to move people of color into positions of power. So we've done a lot of really awesome events to bring community together and to acknowledge our varying cultural identities and the intersectionalities of those. And so recently, Mayra helped organize the Dia de Muertos celebration that we hosted in Old Town Square.
That's awesome. What year did you guys form?
We actually formed in 2020 after the murder of George Floyd.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So yeah, let's talk about Dia de Muertos. What was that event about?
Yeah, Mayra, would you like to share a little bit more about the event and what we had at the square?
Yeah, so Dia de los Muertos is depending on what region you're from, it can be months or a couple of days, but it's just a day of celebrating our loved ones that have passed. For 2 days typically, and we just welcome them back to the living world with altars and food and flowers. So it's a celebration of life to celebrate them. So it was held in El Centro, so Old Town Square. We had face paintings. We had virtual altars where people submitted in pictures, songs, or poems of loved ones that have passed. We had dancers, Aztec dancers. Yeah, we had hot chocolate. So it was a fun, busy event.
Yeah, seriously, that sounds like a blast. Now, were you guys accepting donations at the event?
Yeah, we'll have donation jars out for when we're doing face painting and giving out hot chocolate. But the intention isn't necessarily to raise money. It's more to honor those who have passed and celebrate Mexican culture.
Seriously. Well, it's great what you guys do. It sounded like an awesome event. Now, coming up in November, you guys have quite a few events. So it looks like we got a Liberation Book Circle. Let's talk about that first. What's that event about?
Yes, the Liberation Book Circle is something we recently launched this fall, and it is a series of opportunities to engage around a single book. So our first circle was around All About Love by Bell Hooks. And this is an opportunity to reclaim love and its meaning and how it means in the world for people of color and those with varying intersectionalities as we go about our day-to-day. Being rooted in love helps us move forward in our liberation journey.
Yeah, that's great. And now for those listening, this event is happening November 6th at 10 a.m. at Ginger and Baker at 359 Linden Street in Fort Collins. Now, if somebody would like to register for this event, how do they do that?
Yeah, you can find our events on Eventbrite. So eventbrite.com. We do have our own page there, and we have a lot of our events listed there. Or you can visit www.bipocalliance.org, and we have an upcoming events landing page there as well.
Awesome.
Registration isn't required, but encouraged, so folks can show up as well.
That's great. Now, why do you think this book circle is so important for our community?
I think it's very important for our community today, especially as we emerge from the pandemic slowly, in reclaiming love, knowing how polarized our communities have been across the nation. Reconnecting and grounding in the concept of love can help us move forward in reclaiming our identities and our ownership and autonomy in the decisions we make day to day.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. Everybody, it sounds great. Make sure you head to 359 Linden Street in Fort Collins on November 6th for the Liberation Book Circle. It starts at 10 a.m. Sounds like such a great time. Now let's kind of switch gears here. Let's talk about your next event. You guys are pretty busy. You guys are going to be doing the Space for Mankind. What should our listeners know about that?
Yeah, that is actually on November 2nd. So that is on a Wednesday, right before the Liberation Book Circle. And that is a place to bring men of color together and network. And so this was something we got in response from our community. We originally started with women of color networking events and bringing women of color together and gathering spaces in yoga and healing. And then we heard from our male identifying community that they wanted a space too, or they wanted to be part of it. And so,
for sure.
In full transparency, the BIPOC Alliance right now is run and organized by a group of women of color. And so we're very honest in this event in that, this is a group of women of color trying to create space for you. And we would love your support and hear from people of color of what they would like in terms of gathering. So as women, we decided to host this at Axe and Ale for some axe throwing while networking. There'll be drinks and snacks as well, right? Having a bit of an activity while you meet some new people and I don't know, release some inner energy that you might have by axe throwing. We weren't sure. So we want to hear from them what they would like. And this was a start.
That's awesome. And it looks like those who attend will receive a complimentary drink as well. Mm-hmm. And so that sounds great. Now, do people have to register for this one?
It is encouraged, but not required. It does help us understand the amount of food and things like that, but no one will be turned away if you haven't registered. And it is open for those who identify as male to participate as well.
So you guys are going to be pretty busy the month of November. Do you guys have anything else going on?
Yeah, with elections coming up, midterm elections, we'll have an election day de-stress yoga for people of color. So that's Tuesday, November 8th, and it's actually at Be Free Healing Center in Fort Collins off of off of Shields, I think. Near Shields and Harmony, I think. I can't remember the exact location. I apologize or address.
No, that sounds great.
Awesome. On November 12th, we actually are having a private viewing of the movie Black Panther: Wakanda Forever.
Cool.
We reserved a movie theater for people of color to join with their families to watch this movie together in community on Saturday, November 12th. It'll be free with concessions.
Wow, so great. Now, you guys are a nonprofit. Do you have volunteer opportunities or sponsorship opportunities for anyone listening?
Absolutely. We have a ton of volunteer opportunities. We are in the midst of getting a bit more organized so we can communicate more consistently with our volunteers. But by visiting our website at BIPOCalliance.org, there's a Get Involved form that folks can fill out and submit. And then you can also donate at our webpage as well. We are a program of the Foothills Unitarian Church. So the donation will go through Foothills Unitarian Church and then come to us. They are our fiscal sponsor and the best partners ever to help us move this work forward.
For sure. Well, it sounds great. Yeah, you guys heard that. Head to their website if you're interested in volunteering or a sponsorship opportunity. Kind of going back a little bit here, I know you kind of talked about how you guys formed your organization. So it's a group of women who formed this, which I think is fantastic. But can you go into a little bit more detail of why you guys decided to create this organization?
So the original folks that formed the BIPOC Alliance came together. It was not just a group of women. It was a group of folks in general that saw a need to respond in Fort Collins and to mobilize folks in response to the murders of Black people across our country. And so initially it was to create community and connect together. And then the group heard from community the need for more connection.
Yeah.
And from there, the organization has grown and thrived. So today it is run by all women of color today, but it did not necessarily start there.
Gotcha. Okay.
It just so happened to be that way.
Yeah.
We partner with a lot of different agencies across the county and a lot of different community members as well. So we aren't just all serving women. We do have men involved in our day-to-day and the connections that we have.
That's so great. Well, you guys are doing great work for our community. Now, let's talk a little bit more about both of you. How did you guys get involved in BIPOC? What's your story?
Sure. I started as a volunteer in November 2020, and I've been part of the group ever since. I'm originally from Chicago, Illinois, and I'm a mixed kid. So I'm half Mexican, half Danish and Norwegian, and hence the last name of Rasmussen. And growing up in such a diverse space, I was really eager to find more community, find more mixed race individuals, anyone of color, really, and to be able to have my own sense of belonging and community, and to feel really welcome to be myself and live in my own skin comfortably. And so I started doing volunteer work with BIPOC Alliance, and then here we are today, 2 years later, and still doing it, and actually have the privilege of making this my job. So
that's awesome.
Very grateful for all the work we get to do and community connections we get to make.
Definitely. What about you, Mayra?
Yeah, so I born and raised here in Fort Collins. Little background, I started having kiddos young, mother of four, and I didn't feel the need to heal or to want to change as much as I do now of having these little ones. So I started volunteering with BIPOC, going on a year now. And so as a person of color, I am trauma central. So BIPOC provided me a safe space to give myself permission to experience joy. As I feel like as a person that has experienced trauma, joy is scary. It's something that we don't allow ourselves to do because we're constantly waiting for the other shoe to drop, right? So one thing I love about BIPOC is that it really is a safe space for people of color to let their guard down and to experience joy, and especially childlike joy. I feel like a lot of us kind of experience a lot of childhood trauma. So to really let our little ones experience such joy, it's so healing and therapeutic. So we get to experience joy while also healing. So that's a little bit of my why. And I love BIPOC. I love being part of this community. I love working with people of color and just hearing their needs and their wants and hopes and dreams, especially trying to pave a healthier and a better way for our children.
Absolutely. Now, for those listening, if there's someone who'd like to get involved with BIPOC or wants more information on the services you guys offer, what would you tell them?
I would tell them to visit either our website at BIPOCalliance.org, or honestly, our most active channels are our Instagram page. So that's our handle is BIPOC Alliance, all one word. And we post pretty regularly there of our opportunities, of what's happening, and ways to engage with us. Right now until December 8th as well, we are having breakfast. It's Breakfast with BIPOC, where you can come and meet us every Thursday morning from now until December 8th from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Folks can just pop in, say hi, get a breakfast burrito. We're at La Luz Restaurant in Fort Collins, near Horsetooth and College. In Fort Collins.
Yeah.
Or email us directly at admin, ADMIN, at BIPOCalliance.org.
Oh, perfect. Thank you. Now, what services exactly do you guys offer the community?
We primarily offer opportunities for people to gather in community and find space. We also have a therapeutic fund scholarship where people can apply for funding to receive therapy.
Awesome.
We do not help find that therapist at this time due to capacity issues, but we enable individuals to have the resources, the financial resources to meet with a therapist.
Yeah.
We also host monthly ancestral healing called Curanderismo, and that's the second Saturday of every month. And people of color are able to have a one-on-one session with an ancestral healer, as well as a community healing ceremony, followed by acupuncture, community acupuncture.
Wow. Now, again, guys, it's been so great having you both on the show. Before I let you go, is there anything else you'd like our listeners to know about BIPOC, what you guys do, or the events you have coming up?
Yeah, I think one of my one of the big things I'd love to share is that we are a community-led organization. So we do want to hear from people. We want to hear from all people of color, however you identify, and what's missing for you. What do you need? And we can work together to make that happen. I think that's the beauty and the privilege of our space, is that we are here to connect our communities of color across racial identities and ethnicities, to build a stronger coalition of people to make change, especially for our little ones. Like Mayra was saying out there, I'm not the only mixed kid here. And so we know that we need to have diverse spaces for all people.
Absolutely.
And for those that even move here from other big cities.
Thank you again so much for being on the show. It's been awesome.
Thank you.